Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of the Stuff and Things Podcast. Today we're talking Star Wars and the series Andor from Disney+. Joining me to discuss the show is my partner in crime, it's Stefan.
Oh, that is I. That is I. Hello.
Yes, it is you. It's good. It would be bad if I said, it's Stefan. You went, no, sorry, wrong guy.
Is Kaylee here this week?
Yeah, God, you do sound a bit like her actually at times.
It's Kaylee here. Kaylee is here to help you do the podcast.
If you do a very, very posh phone voice, yes.
Yes.
Hello everybody, yes. And then she thinks it's not recording anymore and she makes threats to me in broad Bristolian.
It's amazing.
You've heard it now.
I have heard it.
Yeah,
weirdly arousing. Terrifying. That was the word I was looking for. Terrifying.
Yeah. And that's recorded. Thank you. That's going in the group chat. So yeah, a massive thank you to everyone for joining us again. We've developed quite a fun audience for this show on our podcast. Just over 5,000 of you listened to the last show, so if you listened and you're back, welcome back. If you listened and you didn't come back, whoops, what did I say? And if you're new, welcome. We do tend to sort of focus on the entertainment factor on this show, not so much deep dives into things. And we kind of walk through, giving our thoughts and talking about characters and things, and that is where we are going to begin. But there is a tradition here where we say, this is Andor, Season 1, Episode 7, and the title of the episode was...
Luckily written down, because IMDb has let me down again.
Yeah.
The title was Announcement.
Good man, good man. So, whenever we spot a title, me and you, we always look for it in the episode, like what was the meaning behind it.
Yep.
Some series let us down badly. Or I could say let us down or just can really mess with us with them. Yep. Others, it's kind of obvious someone will literally say the line. In this one, the line is said. Someone does say, an announcement. However, I kind of feel like it had a double impact for it, where this was largely this episode reflecting on what happened the week before.
Yep.
And me and you very much deemed it as a heist. Cassian Andor deemed it as a heist. However, it would appear that no, this was, yes, they took a lot of money, but it was an announcement. It was kind of like a, we're here, middle finger to the Empire.
Yeah, that's what I quite liked.
I enjoyed
quite like that. Yeah,
I enjoyed that. So let's open with the thing that's still confusing me.
Go on.
We are still getting scenes with Cyril Karn. Yeah.
So, who is this guy now? Like, I'm now at that stage where I'm really thinking he's got to be a someone. Like, this has gone from, he keeps appearing, there's obviously a bit of a fun storyline. No, he is clearly a somebody now.
There's something there which we know is going to happen. But what is bizarre is that this is a guy who in the opening episodes was looked to us to be the kind of the villain of the piece.
Yeah.
He was the guy who was trying to hunt down Cassian. He was, clearly a very devoted, fastidious kind of guy. A bit of a, job's worth. He tailored his own uniform to, make himself stand out that little bit. We've all been in work with one of those people. A very obvious pain in the ass kind of character that you could easily love to hate.
Yeah.
But he got fired. And since then, we have seen this guy go home to mummy. We've seen him eat maybe 3 to 4 meals sat at her table, lots of blue milk going down.
Yeah.
Sit around looking sad. And then go and have an interview and land a job basically in the ultimate office bureaucracy cubicle job. Literally working for the Bureau of Standards.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are we seeing this?
What is happening? Why do we care?
Because when she talked about, I'm going to call in this favour from your uncle. I think we were like, oh, he's going to end up at the ISB.
He's going to be Uncle Palps. Yeah, we thought something big was going to happen.
Uncle Palps. Oh, wow, could you imagine? Uncle Palps, go for Papa Palpatine.
Yeah, exactly.
No, God. Yeah.
Anyone that gets that reference, you are a legend.
Yeah, go for Papa Palpatine. But what is kind of like I said, was weird. It's like, why are we still seeing this? What exactly is going to happen? And me and you talked a little bit about this before, where we said it's now on the fence. This guy is either going to be so Empire, so kind of like, sign me up, I want to become an admiral one day and hunt down every rebel scum, or he's actually going to go the other way, and perhaps he could end up being quite a key part of the rebellion. Like,
yeah.
But at the moment, this guy's literally working in a cubicle in the Bureau of Standards.
He's now got an office job, and he's like, okay,
why are we following this?
Yeah.
Now, granted, at some point there's going to be a payoff, I'm sure, but at the moment I'm just feeling like, okay, I'm watching this show about Star Wars and Andor, and every now and again I'm getting this other show mixed in about some sort of bureaucrat. You know?
It's strange.
It's odd. So I'm not alone in still being confused about that. No, it just feels odd at the moment.
I feel like that's pretty general feeling now. It's like, who is this guy? Why are we seeing him sitting at a desk?
Well, I mentioned the ISB then, because obviously I said that's where I thought this guy was going to go, and that's not happened. But the ISB, we have this really great scene where they're having this meeting, and they're all the sections, star system chiefs, and they're basically being told, like, you know, we are now going to tighten our grip, you know, it's going to become a fist, and they talk about we're going to have this massive tax hike, there's going to be penalties, people who are going to go to jail over practically anything now, and the Empire, you know, after this incident, we're going to show everybody who's boss. And I'm watching that, and I'm kind of like, oh, damn, you know, you've stolen this money, but you're about to make the galaxy's life miserable. What is interesting to me is then when we catch up with Luthen Rail, however you say it, that is exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
And he says this line, and to be honest with you, I kind of completely get where he's coming from. But when he says this line, he says, people have got so used to the Empire choking us slowly, they're not even realising it's happening anymore. So I needed to do something so they'd hit us, and people would wake up and realise, oh, hell, you know, the Empire's bad.
Yeah, it's almost like people have, like you said, people have forgotten that the Emperor and the Empire is bad, and they're not helping the people.
No.
Because it's all being done now so like slowly and constantly almost.
Yeah.
It's kind of like become like it's just day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And yes, that's going to be an interesting dynamic.
Did you like the little Emperor Palpatine was mentioned during that meeting?
He got his cameos. Well,
go for Papa Palpatine mentioned in ISB. I had a meeting with Emperor Palpatine. I was like, oh damn, you
are high up. Okay.
Yeah, you're lucky you walked away from that, mate.
Yes.
What do you think about this Dedra Miru then? She's continuing her investigations.
Mate, she shut the other bloke up? Oh, that scene was epic.
Yeah, she has got her kind of her theory now, and she's managed to put together the evidence. She thinks she has put together evidence that this is a coordinated rebellion, not just the isolated incidents. And that guy who basically put her in her place last time a little bit, she backhanded into next week.
He sat there and basically turned around to the teacher and gone, no, she's not doing it right. She's done too much. And he's turned around and gone, well done. Yeah. Nice to see some initiative. Do you know what? We'll take the district off of you because you're clearly doing cool. And we'll give it to her who's doing the work, shall we? And I was like, oh, damn.
That was savage. And the best thing as well is he leaves with her after doing it and goes, yeah, watch your back. So he knows. Yeah. He knows in what he has just done. He's literally painted a target on this woman.
Like we have just had a villain origin story
made
there for that dude.
Yeah, that guy's not happy.
he has just become Darth Maul or something. He's fuming.
he is steaming it right now. Yeah. So, but like I said, she wins the approval of her boss in that meeting, and we know, of course, because we were watching, like, well, she is right. We know as the audience that she's absolutely onto this, but we're also in the audience going, "Oh, someone shoot her! Don't let her come."
There's a weird part of me that is like fully on her side. Like she's the only one that's actually working out what's going on. Yep. Go on, love. You do it. Go on.
Go on, love. Go on.
You proved to them all that you actually were talking sense from episode 1.
You sounded like an absolute proper geezer. Go on, love. You tell them.
I know.
Absolutely.
I know we're recording in the evening, but I've not come straight from the pub, I promise.
Yeah, I promise. Yeah.
But I'm like, yes, go on. And then the other part of me is going, oh, no, wait, she's the bad guy still. She's still the bad guy. Maybe don't go on that much, No, I
agree. Whilst ISB are having their meetings on, Coruscant and everything, also on Coruscant, Mon Mothma goes to see Luthen. And the thing I loved about this scene is she had no idea about the heist.
Nope, she just knew something had happened, and was it him? And he's like, oh, it's true.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the character that he plays.
He is fun.
In the antique shop.
Yeah.
Like, Luthen's a cool character, but his persona in the shop, oh, you heard it too. Oh, it must be real. How wonderful. And I'm like, what?
He is such an interesting character, full stop.
Yeah.
Because the ability to do that, because, like, she arrives and he's listening to sort of, like, rebel radio almost, like these reports coming in, he's listening to it, and then she shows up. Yeah, she like shows up and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go out front, and immediately just paints on that smile, changes his walk, comes prancing out like, hey. Her driver sort of stops there, and he's like, and because he knows the driver might not be able to hear but can still see, he's talking to her about, so what, whilst doing this big hand gestures, this massive smile.
Yeah.
So he's maintaining the swagger whilst basically telling her to go herself.
Massively
because
yeah.
It's like got nothing to do with her, what he does. And she's like,
you're in or you're out. I told you to give us money and nothing else. I'm doing it the way I said I'd do it. You want in or you want out, love.
Yeah, and he's brilliant. He is so interesting. And her character is great as well. I mean, clearly she wants the rebellion. She wants to get rid of the Empire. She sees the Empire as an affront to democracy, and she's right. Mm-hmm. What is interesting, me and you talked a little bit about her family life, like her husband. Does he know? What does he know?
Yep.
In this episode, we see her meet with this person she mentioned before. It's an old school friend from her home planet. And she confides in him that perhaps she is seen as a nuisance, but she is actually a lot more than that. And she's happy to be seen as the nuisance because then it hides what she's really doing.
And that was a real strange conversation because when she started saying, I need to talk to you about something, but only 3 other people know. And he's like, I wouldn't tell me then. Yeah. And I'm like, oh no, she's about to drop herself in it. And then he's like,
I'm curious. I'm curious. Do you think she has dropped herself in it? Because I'm not convinced by that guy at all.
No, I'm really on the fence of either he's now going to come to the rebel side, or the next episode is going to be a load of stormtroopers banging on the door and arresting her and her husband.
Well, it's also interesting, of course, as she says, my husband stopped talking, he knows nothing, and he can't be trusted.
Yeah, she keeps saying him, smile, smile.
The can't be trusted line's pretty heavy when you think about it. This is her husband, father of her child. But me and you said, though, like, he looks really comfortable and happy throwing dinner parties, basically being a senator in the Empire. He seems really comfortable in that lifestyle.
Yeah.
So he's probably not of a mind that he wants to rock that boat in any way, sense at all.
Which I can understand. Like, if you are living a life of luxury and you're one question away from losing it all, don't ask the bloody question.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Whereas she's not asking the question. She's demanding and probably giving out the answers anyway.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because he seems to always be watching her as well. Now, she, of course, could be thinking, I can't trust him and I think he's on to me. He could well be, working for the Empire. I think he just thinks she's having an affair. Because, like, she sat with that guy, old school friend. He doesn't stop locking eyes. Like, he sends over their daughter at one point, like, to interrupt them.
Yeah.
And you sort of see him watching. And then they're sat by themselves, so he goes over and takes her away.
Yeah.
It could be easily, in a very heightened paranoia state, which she is obviously in, it could be very easy to just see his watching her and being off with her as, oh, he's part of the Empire, he's
on to me. Yeah.
And he's just there thinking, she's acting weird, she's taking weird phone calls day and night, she's shagging someone.
That's why he's blocking her bank accounts, that she can't do a runner.
Yeah, it's kind of, it could be interesting when that comes out, because at the moment we're like, can't trust the husband, trusting the old school friend, and I just feel like that's going to flip. Do you know what I mean?
It turns out that actually the husband is a rebel fighter pilot.
Yeah, something
she has no idea at all.
Yeah, he's actually trying to do the same thing, but this old school friend's actually a piece of crap.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where that dynamic goes, because the whole way through the conversation I couldn't quite work out what the old school friend was going to do.
No,
like which way. So that'll be interesting to see what happens.
I agree. Now, on Coruscant as well, we see a lady. We've never met her before. She just walking with real purpose through a terminal.
I'm so glad you said that.
Why?
I genuinely thought she was a character we had seen, and I just couldn't remember who the hell she was.
No, I don't think we've seen her
before. I don't think we've seen her before, because I'm watching it like, who the hell is this? Like, what?
Yeah. But I'm like, okay, so we're going to follow this character. Who is it? Is this going to be to do with, the rebellion? Is this perhaps an Imperial spy? Who knows? Anyway,
I was getting serious Jedi vibes.
So she goes marching through Coruscant, all these streets, and eventually just ends up in a really dark sort of underground corner. And when she walks up to a character that's there, we do know that is Vel.
Yes.
Now, Vel was the team leader for the heist.
Yep.
And she's like, I thought I was going to speak to him, and this woman's like, nope. So obviously Luthen is taking a step back from his direct point of contact with this person.
This is where I started getting a little bit confused.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it Luthen that she means? Because Luthen flew out to meet her last time.
No, I think it is, but I think what we're seeing is kind of classic espionage thing of, you've seen me, you're not going to see me again, but you're going to see different people different times, because if anyone is watching either of them, they're not going to put two people together on a regular basis. It's going to be different people meeting at different locations, different times. Like,
gotcha.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like a constant rotation of, you go and see that person, then I'll go and see that person. And you see with Luthen literally changes his whole persona. So if someone sees him on Coruscant, you're seeing the shopkeeper. When he's out in the Outer Rims, you know it's going to be the sort of guy that met Cassian.
Yeah, I get you.
That
makes more sense now, because when I was first watching it, I was like, is she double-crossing? Is she...
no.
What's happening? But no, that makes more sense. Look at it.
mean, they say, don't they, like, the money's sorted, the money's gone. She asks her about the ship, and she's like, look, the ship's buried. It's gone.
Yeah, the ship's gone, money's transported, done.
Yeah. So, okay, we're done with that. Now, what happens next did shock me. She is sent to kill Cassian.
Yeah.
Now, we talked a little bit before about this show and the tone of it and how it's going to show the rebellion in a different way, and how Rogue One did that, because Cassian, you literally see him kill someone in the first scene you see him, just because that guy can't escape the stormtroopers. So rather than let him get captured and interrogated and he's seen his face, he just kills him.
Yep.
Now, it's brutal, but that is a resistance. In human history, resistance in countries like World War II, the French resistance, communist resistance, all these different people who fought against occupiers, the Nazis, which, let's face it, the Empire is basically space Nazis.
Yep.
They had to do some pretty bad stuff to be able to mount a real resistance, and I think this is what we're seeing here. And she's sent to kill Cat. Now, like I'm kind of thinking to myself, we know how Cassian evolves to the person he is within the rebellion, but there's two parts of this episode which, for me, are like Rogue One. Is this part where she is sent to kill him, and I'm thinking to myself,
that's
wow.
Very well.
Well, I'm thinking, well, clearly she doesn't. We know she doesn't kill him. But secondly, it's kind of like, does that inform his thinking going forward? Which is, okay, well, this is what we do. Because... Yep. So, if I'm in the rebellion, then this is how we act, this is how we work.
However, at the same time, my theory would be more the case of, I've just helped these people out, I've fulfilled my end of the bargain, I've done everything you asked of me, and now you've just sent someone to kill me?
Yeah.
Screw you guys!
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm very much with you. So, Andor does return home. I've written in my notes here, Andor goes home, facepalm. Because I was kind of like, that's the worst place he could possibly go. The one thing I did like is that everybody told him that.
Yep.
Like, every character he arrived was like, what are you doing here, you idiot?
Pretty much, yeah.
His mother, and I say mother in this instance, we know it's like an adopted thing, but his mother is like, you shouldn't be here, you idiot. He goes to see Bix, and Bix is a bit standoffish, and again, you shouldn't be here, you idiot.
Yeah, their interaction was a bit of a strange one. I expected more of a, you're still alive, oh, you're still alive, not a, you shouldn't be here, cough.
I think we learned in this, obviously, they were lovers in the past, which kind of suspected, now been confirmed. She... I think genuinely did like the guy she was with, and he being killed.
Yeah,
that's bound to, and she is killed over. He is killed over what Cassian did. If Cassian didn't do what he did and ran back there, then none of that would have happened.
She lays that out in crystal clear, kind of. You
and
killed
also,
these people. You ran here. You have caused everything that's happening.
And also points out that he isn't liked now. People on this planet, people in this township are now under the boot of the Empire because of him. So if they see him, they're going to shop him. Like, no one's going to be Team Cassian.
No.
They are going to go, oh, you bastard.
Do you know, we get raided 3 times a day now because of you?
Exactly, yeah.
He's over here.
And you can understand it. You can understand the Empire doing that.
Yeah.
And you can understand that people are going to feel that way about him. So, me and you said it, he should never go back there, but then at the same time, we always kind of knew he would. I love the interactions with the Broken Ash droid, because the Broken Ash droid just reminds me of like a family pet. And there's something really, really adorable about that.
He's probably my favourite droid, possibly in
this so far, definitely. What did you think to the mother basically saying, I'm not going anywhere, the rebellion has begun, and I'm going to be here front, I'm going to do my part?
Yeah, that took me a little bit by surprise.
Yeah, same.
I had a suspicion that she was going to be something to do with the rebels.
Yeah.
Only because of Cassian's sort of character himself.
Yeah.
So I assumed there was going to be something rebellion link there.
Yeah.
I didn't expect her to be stood there going, no, the rebellion has started. I will be here doing my part. I will be fighting for them. I am not going anywhere. I was like, oh, okay.
There's something else in this episode. Now, we heard before that the father, again, adopted father, was hung by the Empire. And we didn't get any more information on that, and we're kind of left to think that obviously he was doing something bad, he got caught, In this flashback, we find that actually he got hung for nothing. He literally was stopping people in the streets from attacking stormtroopers because he was trying to protect people. Yeah. And for that, they hung him.
Yeah, so undeserved is tick number 1.
Well, just kind of, when you think about motivation, when you think about what sort of thing, and Cassian being younger, seeing it happen,
what could lead you to wanting to rebel against something? Well, that's That's a fairly big start, I'd say.
And Luthen clearly found that out and tried to tap into that to get him, fired up to do the job they needed him to do. It was interesting, the mother talking about the fact that, they left him hanging in the square. I've not been able to walk through that square. And yet, the news of this job, the news of this raid on the Empire being given this bloody nose by this small group of people,
who she doesn't realise is sat right in front of her.
I know.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like I loved him to have told her. Because she's talking about these brave young men gave me the confidence to put on my best jacket, and I walked across that square with a smile on my face.
Yep.
And this episode doesn't have the action, doesn't have the kind of gunfights, the ships, or anything like that. But I did love this episode because I feel like the dialogue in it was, all of it was like punches landing.
So well done. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Luthen interaction with the senator, it felt so big, that exchange.
Yeah.
The tension of her talking to her old school friend, and we're like, oh, don't say too much. That felt big. The character being sent to kill Cassian, it was like, wow, that's a massive plot point there. That's huge. Him going back there and sneaking around, and then us learning about his father, and now this, like I'm talking about with his mother. That whole she had lived there for years after he was hung, and has kept her head down, and has kind of walked with shame almost, and hurt. And yet the Empire being given this bloody nose has made her feel 6 feet tall. I loved that. That felt, it made it feel real. I know it's science fiction. I know it's not real. I know it's not a documentary. When they say a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, it's not an actual recorded history. But it just makes it feel real, like real emotion. And this is a character that's had a few scenes across a few episodes, but I'm really feeling it. I'm really feeling that emotion that was between the two.
No, I'll give you that. Yeah. It's
sorry,
like you say, yeah. No, like you say, this episode had so much in it.
Yeah.
Without having so much in it. Like, we didn't need the flashy spaceships and the gun battles and stuff, because this is now setting everything up really nicely.
No, agreed. And also, the ending to the episode was kind of set up in the beginning. So, in the beginning, Cassian's done this job, and the ISB and the Empire are tightening their grip. Any offence, anything, we're going to come down like a ton of bricks on people.
Yeah.
Cassian then goes to what appears to be like a holiday kind of planet. A holiday resort. He's hooked up with some lady. He's grabbing a few credits out of his security, his locker thing. His share, by the way, which he's now lost, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
He goes off to the shops. He's going to go get some food, some snacks. She was really clear about the snacks she wanted.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'll go. And he just sees some guys running, and he's like looking over his shoulder, watching them, and he's like, oh, wow, okay, they're running from Imperial soldiers. And then he gets stopped by one. And he's like, you're looking over your shoulder. Yeah, I saw people running. Are you part of this? No. And he has literally done nothing wrong. In this here, he's done nothing wrong at all, but he is grabbed and jailed for 6 years.
Yeah.
For nothing.
Now, I'm sure there will be a lot of people out there drawing some very interesting parallels to real world.
I imagine a lot of people are, and I also imagine if you're focusing purely in the Star Wars, purely in this, can you think of a better recruiting drum for the rebellion than trying to take people off prison barges right now? Think how angry, bitter, resentful all of those people are right now. You could not get a better, and this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to get the Empire to come down so hard and act so Bertie Big Bollocks with everybody that people would hate them. Because now he was like, people are being suffocated, but they don't realise it.
Yep.
They're just carrying on.
Would have been a 6-month sentence a week ago. Yeah. Now it's 6 years.
Well, the fact 6 months was still horrific, by the way, for doing nothing. But yeah, now it's 6 years. Bang. Next. Another thing that happened in that, by the way, is he's grabbed by a droid. That particular make of droid is the droid that he reprograms and has as a companion in Rogue One.
Yeah, he does. That was a cool little scene. I liked that.
So that was kind of a fun. And he's got him. And also, the droid's told to keep. What was it? Hang on to him.
Yeah.
So the droid grabs him by the throat and hangs him.
Yeah.
The droid's being literal. That was kind of like, oh wow, that's not good. You know, how many people have just been killed because of terminology?
Yeah, they are so literal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good at all. But yeah, so, I mean, the episode ends with him going to jail. And the hilarious thing is, his actions cause this massive clampdown, and then his alter ego's now going to jail over nothing. I mean, he deserves to go to jail for what he did, but I mean, they'd probably just execute him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a crazy situation. We also know that she has been sent to kill him, so is she gonna track him down to the jail and go, well, he's in jail, that's fine, I don't need to kill him anymore, or is she gonna try and get him out, or
breaks him out of prison to assassinate him?
Yeah. Well, could you imagine? Because if you, like I just said then, you cannot imagine a better recruiting thing right now. So if you're him and you hear about all these prison barges full of people being taken, you must be thinking to yourself, we raid them, we've got recruits left, right and centre.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah. Of people who are going to be like, yeah, give me a gun. You know, give me a gun and send me back there. I'll take out every stormtrooper I see.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think it's what the show's doing so well. It's like, yeah, it might not be action every episode and stuff, and that's fine, but every episode is layering stuff in where I am intrigued and I'm interested to see what they're going to do. Yeah, and you know, there's still a good few episodes left, so we've still got plenty of story to go for this season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, man. So. Is there any other bits and pieces from this episode I've missed? I think I've covered.
So. I think we've got it all.
Yeah, I was going to say I've covered all my bullet points. There is one thing. Apologies. Mm-hmm. There was one more thing, which is to do with his mother telling him, "Stop looking for your sister."
Oh,
so me and you had wondered if that was real or if he was just looking for someone and said it was his sister. It appears that no, that is real. He did have a sister left on that planet when his mother and father took him to save him. She's like, look, everyone there died. It was disgraceful. It was terrible. Stop looking back. I'm instantly thinking his sister's alive. Straight away now. You know, immediately. And there's a story there. There's going to be something there. So, hopefully she's not working for the ISB. Because that could be awkward.
Yes.
But funny.
Be funny.
Very funny. But yeah, I mean, that's it. That is our show this week. Thank you everybody for listening and tuning in with us. We hope you've enjoyed it. Hope we've covered all the points well enough for you as well. Do get in touch with us. Let us know your thoughts. Thank you to all the messages we've had in already. You can contact us across all of our social medias via email. You can also get us on our Discord. If you go to our Instagram account currently, one of the posts there is a Discord link. Just go there, follow it, you know, and fill it out and join us there, and you can chat to us about any of the shows we podcast about. You can speak directly to us, the hosts, and other listeners as well. It's been a really nice atmosphere on there at the moment. I think we got around 15 people on there currently, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's building up slowly, yep.
Yeah, but
all nice and active, everyone chatting about different shows and stuff, so it's good fun.
Yeah, it's nice, a nice atmosphere. Good pleasant exchange of views, and that's what we like. Anyone who's an ass, we'll just kick them out.
Pretty much.
Except for us, because we're allowed to be asses. But that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back real soon. You all take care.
This is Steph and Sam signing out of Rebel Radio.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.